Federal agents arrest Don Lemon over Minnesota church protest. Date: January 30th, 2026. Location: Los Angeles/St. Paul, Minnesota, United States. Former CNN anchor and independent journalist Don Lemon was arrested by U.S. federal agents on Thursday night in Los Angeles in connection with his presence at a controversial protest that disrupted a church service earlier this month in St. Paul, Minnesota. What happened at the protest? On January 18, 2026, a group of anti-IC, Immigration and Customs Enforcement protesters entered city's church in St. Paul during a worship service. Demonstrators were protesting against immigration enforcement actions and criticized the church's leadership, alleging ties to federal immigration authorities. The protest interrupted the service and led to tensions in the community. Don Lemon was on site and live-streamed and recorded the demonstration, interviewing protesters, congregants, and church leaders. Lemon, who left CNN in 2023 and now hosts his own independent media program, said he was present solely as a journalist reporting on the event. Federal charges and arrest. Federal law enforcement, including FBI and Homeland Security agents, took Lemon into custody in Los Angeles Thursday evening, where he was attending the Grammy Awards. Officials have linked the arrest to allegations that Lemon's actions went beyond reporting and possibly violated federal statutes that protect access to places of worship and civil rights. According to some reporting sources, potential charges being considered include conspiring to deprive others of their civil rights and violating the freedom of access to clinic entrances. FACE Act, a federal statute often invoked to protect access to places like houses of worship. A federal magistrate judge had previously refused to approve the government's bid to charge Lemon, saying there was insufficient evidence at that stage. Despite that, prosecutors pursued a grand jury indictment and secured the arrest. Reactions and legal defense. Lemon's attorney, Abbe Lowell, strongly defended his actions, describing the arrest as an attack on press freedom and the First Amendment, saying Lemon was performing constitutionally protected journalism. Lowell vowed that Lemon will fight these charges vigorously and thoroughly in court. The arrest drew significant criticism from journalists, free speech advocates, and lawmakers, who argue that charging a journalist for reporting on a protest could set a dangerous precedent for press freedom. Broader context. The church protest occurred amid heightened tensions in Minnesota over federal immigration enforcement operations, which had already sparked protests after the fatal shooting of protesters by ICE officers earlier in January. The Justice Department had also filed charges against several organizers of the protest for civil rights violations related to disrupting the church service. As of the latest reports, charges against Lemon are still unclear, and he is expected to appear in federal court soon. England have been handed a huge boost just days before the T20 World Cup, as star fast bowler Jofra Archer makes a surprise return to the national team. According to The Guardian and BBC Sport reports, Jofra Archer has been fast-tracked into England's T20 squad for the Sri Lanka series, just 1 week before the ICC Men's T20 World Cup begins. Archer had been sidelined with a side strain and missed the latter part of the Ashes series, but England's medical team has now cleared him to return. His inclusion gives him vital match practice ahead of England's World Cup opener against Nepal on February 8th. England captain Harry Brook welcomed the move, highlighting Archer's pace, experience, and impact in pressure matches. Archer's return significantly strengthens England's bowling attack, especially in subcontinent conditions. Meanwhile, Ben Duckett misses out through injury, with Tom Banton drafted into the squad. Phil Salt and Jos Buttler are expected to open the batting as England fine-tune their lineup. OUTRO. With the T20 World Cup just days away, England will hope Archer's return can provide the cutting edge they need to challenge for another global title. Stay tuned for more World Cup updates.